Hey everybody, today we'll be jumping into Ahsoka Season 1, Episode 1, and I'll do my best to both recap and share my perspectives and thoughts on the episodes. That being said, spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to spoil the show for yourself, please save this video for later, go out, watch it, come back, and we'll be waiting here for you. Ahsoka opens like any other Star Wars TV show or movie with a title crawl. The Empire has crumbled, the New Republic has taken its place. But, of course, there's a people that want the Empire back, so we have to be aware of that. Now, one of these people that wants the Empire back also wants back a man named Admiral Thrawn, who is some imposing Imperial figure who, if he returns, could bring about another war. Morgan Elsbeth has already been captured by Ahsoka Tano and is in a prison transport. The title crawl lets us know all this and lets us know of the looming threat of the Imperials returning and those who are working to return the Empire. And with that, we get our obligatory ship passes by as a transition. Aboard the ship, they say there's an incoming vessel. They go to yellow alert, and he asks the man it comes to hail them. They send an old Jedi code, and Numbnuts here says he wants to call their bluff and let them aboard. I can't believe this man who's in charge of this whole ship of people. Every decision he makes has heavy consequences on everyone underneath him. And he's transporting a high-level prisoner, mind you. And he thinks the best bet is to let the Trojan horse back behind the walls. Two Jedi-looking people approach, and Captain Numbnut says, "I know you ain't Jedi." And then Master No Name says, "You're right. We are no Jedi." And kebabs his ass. What did we learn? When transporting a high-level prisoner, maybe don't stop and call people's bluffs and let them onto the ship. So, as you would expect, they tear their way through the ship because lockdown isn't a thing that would exist on a ship like this, would it? We learn the master's name is Balin, and he's quite classy if I say so myself.
Balin, you are true to your word.
And well paid for it, Lady Morgan.
They release Morgan Elsbeth, and then they do that bit where they get the person to say the name of the show, and then the title card of the show hits.
Who is this Jedi?
Ahsoka Tano.
We cut to a planet as barren as my DMs, and Ahsoka carves her way into the ground to find herself in this room with large pillars. She then uses the same technique 5-year-olds who are pretending to be bank robbers use when they're trying to crack a vault, and she opens up this pillar thing. It has a very loud audible click of success, so I don't know why she's like... Anyway, a pillar of dirt appears, she crumbles it, looks very satisfying by the way, and inside is the golden snitch. She leaves and encounters enemy droids. Now, they seem to have purchased the Kylo Ren voice filter package. I'll let you listen.
The map. Give it to us.
They also seem to have purchased the inability to have the element of surprise, because they let her know that there's more than one of them.
Give it to us.
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 They slowly walk towards her, and honestly, the whole fight feels kind of slow. I don't know if I could properly describe it, but here's my first attempt. Her movements are stiff, and the angles that they use don't really allow us to kind of feel like she's fluid with her motions. She doesn't seem like someone who's trained. She looks like someone who's kind of like battering her way through. It's very blocky and stiff. Because the robots didn't purchase the ultimate tier package, that means when they self-destruct, they have to announce it to the enemy.
Initiate self-destruct protocol.
So they do, which gives her time to escape. Who would have thought? David Tennant voices the robot, but don't remember that. It won't help, and neither will his performance. Ahsoka's called into the ship where all the previous shit went down, and General Hera's there, lets her know that they lost the prisoner, and nobody seems terribly bothered about it. I don't know why, but that's what it is. You watch, and you'll say the same thing. Ahsoka tells Hera that the map will tell where Admiral Thrawn is, which will also lead to Ezra, but they don't know how to open it. So Hera tells Ahsoka that Sabine would know how to unlock it. Why Sabine would be able to help Ahsoka with this is kind of confusing to me. See, I watched Rebels a long time ago. I don't think I necessarily finished it. I might have been on the last season and just didn't finish the last couple episodes. But how exactly can Sabine help unlock this map? On the planet Lothal, the mayor is dedicating a ceremonial piece to the heroes who helped defeat the Empire. Now, Sabine is supposed to be giving a speech, but she's an angsty adult with purple red hair and a smug attitude. This whole bit is utter nonsense. While our ears are pleasured with what I can only call trash rock music, Sabine races with a speeder out of town and the police chase her. They land a ship on the highway in front of her, and she slides under the ship. Yes, slides under the ship. Because she's a badass. Obviously. Why is any of this necessary? Why does the mayor want her there? Why did she agree to do the speech if she did, and then choose not to show up?
Do you have a pet? Do you have a sweet tooth? Do you believe in the power of a curse?
Have you had your hearing tested lately?
Planning a trip soon? Can you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
That's really unprofessional, and she's supposed to be a commander. But instead, she's acting like an unlikable brat who can't keep her word. She then also drives off to her apartment, which is not only the only building in the distance, like, literally, it's the only building in the distance, but it's literally right there. It's right, like, they're in a spaceship. They can reach this needle-looking building. So does the police jurisdiction end at the highway? Are they not in control of the whole planet? What's the deal here? So she gets home to her cat, and this cat, just like my best friend Gillum, has a smug face and chicken legs. She's watching a holo vid of Ezra, and Ezra basically friend-zones her ass in the video. At this point, I would like to mention that neither two of the main protagonists have given a single ounce of emotion. Just wanted to let you know. Back where Ahsoka was when she found the map, we find out that it's an ancient temple of the Night Sisters. Morgan is there and tells the Sith apprentice that she's a survivor and she used to be a Night Sister. Or that's what's implied. She gets called a witch. They find out Ahsoka has the map, and she sends the young apprentice to find Sabine. We also get a glimpse of this Elden Ring wannabe. I have no idea who this man is, and based on how this is going so far, I don't care. This part right here really bothered me, and you'll see why. Sabine is sleeping, and we hear someone say, "And remember, the Force is always with you." Now, maybe I'm wrong, because I haven't seen all of Rebels. I don't remember it, and I haven't seen Clone Wars or any of this other stuff. I did see some of Clone Wars, not all of it, though. But that sounds like Obi-Wan. She never met Obi-Wan. Also, is this hinting that she's Force-sensitive now all of a sudden? Sabine makes her way into the city. Yes, the city she very indignantly left literally the day before. And the mayor's just whatever about it. Oh, hey, cool, it's you.
I think I know how to find Ezra.
Ah, yes. I love the long silence. Give me more. I love these little pauses, don't you? They talk on the ship about the situation, and Ahsoka wants Sabine to look at the orb. And Sabine literally says the most basic shit.
No one would design a map you couldn't read. There must be a key or codex of some sort.
Well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit!
She then changes the subject to ask where Ahsoka's been living, and even though they're both really terrible at emoting at this moment, which, by the way, Ahsoka doesn't react almost at all. Just want to highlight that. But if I'm going to give it credit, where credit's due, in this moment, we kind of get some semblance of what could be a good plot. As I said, I do want to give credit to this scene. Sabine is obviously hurt and sad about how things went down between them.
So, where do you call home these days? The ship serves me fine. Still? Don't you ever get tired of moving from one place to another?
I go where I'm needed.
She even seems to have a deep care for Ahsoka as a person, asking her if she'll ever settle down someplace. Ahsoka doesn't seem to mind living on the ship, but I think she's sad and disappointed about how things went down too, even noticing how much Sabine seems to have cared.
Not always.
You never make things easy.
Why should I? You never made things easy for me, Master.
There is nothing easy about being a Jedi.
Well, then I should have made a good one.
Yes. You should have.
Yet, Ahsoka barely reacts. Sabine wants to leave with the map so she can think more clearly. Ahsoka says no and leaves. Again, this decision right here makes sense. Don't leave with the very important map. Ahsoka takes a break and talks with Hu Yang, the robot, about the mercenary. He scans the lightsabers and it turns out it belongs to a Jedi named Baylan Skoll, the cool old dude we've seen free Morgan Elsbeth. Returning to inform Sabine, we find out that she left with the orb. Please remember this moment of Sabine smugly smiling as she does something dumb that she was told not to. I promise it's important. So Sabine's driving home and we cut to Scarlet Sith and she's watching her and tracks her to her home, which we all could have seen coming. Sabine returns home and analyzes the orb and she figures it out, which anyone could have figured it out. I don't know why it had to be Sabine and not someone else. All she did was twist it and press the buttons a little. We literally opened the show at a certain point with our protagonist, I should say, the protagonist's open scene, is her listening to this thing and figuring a puzzle out. So she couldn't figure the orb out? To absolutely no one's surprise, Sabine is jumped in her home by two droids. So she cuts one in half, escapes, and then runs and finds herself face to face with Scarlet Sith. She loses the fight as she should, since Scarlet Sith obviously has been training. As she loses, she takes a lightsaber to the stomach. Ahsoka arrives, and the Sith lady retreats with the golden snitch. I assume this is meant to be a bit of a cliffhanger, but I could care less if Sabine survives or dies at this point. And since I know that that's probably not going to be the case, because Disney would never do that, I don't look forward to seeing her in the next episode. Okay, so my final thoughts here. Ahsoka doesn't seem to react to anything, and I don't really know why. I watched most of Rebels and a little bit of the Clone Wars, so I'm really kind of stumped on why they went with a stoic and boring Ahsoka. I mean, there's so many moments of pausing and silence, but it doesn't build tension or anything. Everything seems to happen because that's where the writers needed things to happen, as opposed to characters making choices and taking actions that jive with who they are as a person. Rosario Dawson in makeup isn't enough to make me believe that she's Ahsoka. She needs to have real emotion, real reaction, real ambition, real drive. Now, I get it. The Jedi were, I won't say emotionless, but they had it tame. They were very kind of, calm. But Ahsoka isn't a Jedi. That's why she has the white lightsabers. Am I right? Or am I right? Please, this is a Star Wars thing, so I'm expecting tons of Star Wars people to comment. Please inform me. One thing I'm really hoping for is that they build on the interesting characters in the show, which is Baylan and his apprentice. Baylan seems like a really interesting character, and there's a lot to be done with his character, something interesting and something new. As a matter of fact, if they just made a show about him and avoided this kind of writing, I think people would like it, because it has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, you have a little bit of Jedi stuff, and you don't have to tie in the main integral story. You can just go off doing evil mercenary missions or gray borderline missions, and you have to grow with them. That would be really interesting. And seeing how he came about his apprentice. Did he find her? Is that his daughter? What? My only beef with the apprentice character so far, and it's a very, very small thing. I noticed that she seems to have a bit of a hunch in some scenes, and I think it would have been more imposing for her to be upright and confident. And, she's fighting someone who obviously isn't a Jedi, so I feel like she should be more confident and a little more cocky. She's allowed to have emotion. She's Sith or a mercenary. So that would be something. Now, here's my thing again, right? Because they didn't give us anything about Baylan and who his apprentice is, and I'm hoping they do, but but I'm assuming that they're probably not because this is Disney. Giving them backstory and telling us, okay, they're Jedi trained. Like, people are making the assumption they're Jedi trained, but I'm wondering, how is Balin really teaching? Is he really teaching her the Jedi ways, and then so that she can like grow around it as a person and Sith? Or is he just teaching her the ways of the Force, but using the dark side? That would be interesting. See what I'm saying? So that's basically it for episode 1. They try to slip in some action here and there to get us to be, hooked into the story. But the problem is there's no real substance. The story is stale. Things feel forced and kind of out of nowhere. One point of contention I have is with Ahsoka. Yeah, she's gotten older and she's grown, but even in Rebels, her acting had depth. You could say she's very Jedi-like and calm, but she had tonal variation. She did more than just cross her arms and let people sit in silence. I really hope this changes as the season goes on, but I really kind of doubt it. I hope they build on Balin and his apprentice, and if they don't, that's another huge disappointment, but also I really doubt they'll do that as well. And again, I'd watch a show of Balin and his apprentice. Just based on episode 1, I probably wouldn't even continue watching Ahsoka. Alright, that's it for me and episode 1 of Ahsoka. Thank you, I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, help the channel. And if you didn't, thank you for making it this far and giving it a chance. I hope maybe one of the next videos you find more enjoyable. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one.